Caroline Voaden.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I welcome the Government's move to empower tenants, and I think for too long in this country owning property has been seen as a way to make additional wealth rather than to actually do it with the intention of providing a safe, secure, warm home for tenants. Not all landlords are bad landlords, but we know that there's some bad apples out there. And for all those people who are unable to get onto the housing ladder or who actively choose to rent, they absolutely deserve to have security of tenure, to give them the confidence to know that they will not be evicted at the whim of a landlord, often forcing them to move out of the area, uprooting children from schools. I should declare an interest here because my younger daughter has spent 4 years renting in London, the last 2 of which she has been living in really quite horrific mould-covered flats. The last one she had to move out of early because the mould was so bad crawling up the walls that it was actually affecting the health and ruining the belongings of she and all her flatmates. In 2025, this is, Madam Speaker, simply not acceptable. For thousands of people living in unsuitable accommodation, we must ensure that local authorities can take action against those negligent landlords, and for this reason, we do not support Lord's Amendment 26. I would like to speak in support of Lord's Amendment 39, which would extend the decent home standard to accommodation provided by the Ministry of Defence for use as service family accommodation. In my constituency of South Devon, the prestigious Britannia Royal Naval College brings a large number of military families to the town of Dartmouth, some of whom live in MOD housing. For families like these who commit to a life of service, for it is the whole family who is involved when one member serves our country, they deserve at the very least a home that is safe, comfortable, warm, energy efficient and decent. And I'm not sure I do agree with the argument offered by the Minister that the security argument, given that much MOD housing is actually located outside military bases. And I don't think it's beyond possibility to find a way to ensure that local authorities could access housing. Sorry, mental blank. Liberal Democrats have long campaigned for decent homes for military families who deserve exactly the same standard and the same legal protection as other renters. So I urge the House to support this amendment. Turning, Madam Speaker, to pets. A friend of mine recently failed to move back to Devon because she simply could not find rented accommodation in her price bracket. But her search was severely hampered by the fact that she has a much-loved family dog. Being told that she wasn't eligible to even look at properties because of the dog is discriminatory and makes a difficult search in an area where we are so short of houses available to rent, makes it even more impossible. Based on the average rent in the South West of £1,181 a month, the proposal to allow landlords to request pet damage deposits of up to 3 weeks' rent equates to an additional £817 up front, which is simply out of reach for most tenants. I believe the current rental deposit cap of 5 weeks' rent is absolutely sufficient to cover any potential pet-related damage, and nobody should be priced out of pet ownership simply because they do not own their own home. So I do not support Lord's Amendment 11. Lastly, I would turn to agricultural workers. As a predominantly rural constituency, agriculture is one of the largest industries and employers in South Devon. Many of those working on farms as dairy workers, relief milkers and tractor drivers are required to live on site. And given the incredibly unsocial hours they have to work, this does make the job slightly more manageable. So I support measures within the bill which allow repossession where a property is required to house agricultural workers, whether they are employed or self-employed. Farmers regularly tell me how difficult it is for them to find housing for farm workers, with many having to rely on caravans and cabins that aren't really suitable for long-term living. As it is increasingly common in farming for workers to be self-employed, we must ensure they too are covered by the grounds for repossession, so I will be supporting Amendment 55. Thank you.